Welcome to Meliora's channel, your go-to place for C# and data analysis tutorials, products hands-on demos, and insider secrets to keep you at the cutting edge of innovation. Our goal is to break down complex tech topics to a level that you will easily understand to supercharge your skills. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
Welcome. In today's lecture, we're going to be further breaking down the if function in Microsoft Excel. So let's get started. So the if function in Excel is a function that allows you to test a condition and return custom values based on if the condition you tested evaluates to a Boolean true or false. Now, the condition in question has to evaluate to a Boolean true or false, so it's a Boolean expression, which is a statement that evaluates to either true or false. So let's take a moment to view Boolean expressions in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so now we're in Excel. So a Boolean expression, let me give you a simple example. If we type equal to 1 plus 1 in a cell like that, we get 2. Okay? Because 1 plus 1 is 2. However, if we instead come to the formula bar to edit that cell value, if we instead write equal to 2, we now have a Boolean true. Because when we write the equal to 2 here, we are not just assigning this calculation there, that okay, do this calculation with this formula 1 plus 1. This equal to 2 is now changing it to a question, is to sort of like a question rather, is 1 plus 1 equals to 2? So instead of returning just 2, by adding that, we are now getting a Boolean true or false. Okay, now let's try another. So if I simply write equals to 6 over 2, it's going to just put 3. But if I write equal 3, I get true, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this is what I mean by the Boolean expression. So you can see when we highlight it, we get true. So that extra equal to is just asking, 6 divided by 3 equals 3. So if it's not, it will return false. And let's see that. So if I change this to something like 5, now we get false, because 6 divided by 2 is not 5. So this is what we mean by the Boolean expression. So it evaluates to a true or false. It's a statement here that evaluates to a true or a false. So that's examples of Boolean expressions in Excel. So let's now take a look at the structure of the if function. We have if, and then separated by commas are each argument you're going to put in. So first of all, it needs the logical test, which is the Boolean expression that evaluates to true or false. Then here we have value if true. So if that expression evaluates to true, this block of code here will run, or whatever you type in there. And if it evaluates to false, then this block here will run. Now I want you to notice that we have square brackets in the value if true and value if false. If you remember the formula and functions lecture, I did say, which is true, that that square bracket does indicate an optional argument. However, for the if function, you must always put these in. If not, you're going to run into an error. Okay, let's go into Excel and see how the full function forms. Okay, so here we just have our previous examples. So we can see that this one here evaluated to a true, and we saw this one evaluated to a false, because 6 divided by 2 is 3 and not 5. Now I did say that when we get a true, we're going to run whatever we put in for the true area of the argument. value if true area of the argument, and if we get a false, then we are going to run whatever we put in for the value if false argument in the function. So let me give you an example. So if we open the parentheses, and we can see the logical test, value if true and value if false. So let's go ahead and actually copy this logical test here. Okay. So if 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, then want to write is true. And if the value is equal to false, you would then want to write it is false. Okay? And we get it is true. So why are we getting it is true? Because this here, which value you can see 1 plus 1 equals 2 is true. So that portion that's evaluating to true is why we are now running the value if true block. Okay? Now let's use this exact same structure. Okay? And paste it in here. But now we're going to simply change this to be 6 divided by 2 equal 5. Okay, so if this returns a Boolean true, we're going to get it is true. If not, we're going to get it is false. Don't forget your equal to sign to assign that. And we are getting it is false, because as we're already seen here, this is evaluating to false. So that's why it's running this portion here, which is it is false. And then this is evaluating to true, which is why it's running the value if true portion of the if function. So that's the function. It's very, very useful, and you can further customize it to do other things. For example, let's type a string, let's say data, and let's just repeat that a little. And let's add an extra a here. Okay. Now, let's combine another function within the if function. Let's do this first. So let's say len equal 4. Okay, and this is what we get. So we just use the len function, if you remember our string functions lecture. So we're just checking the length of characters in each of these cells, length of the text characters. So equals to 4. So this is a Boolean expression, and what I gave, instead of giving a single cell, we gave a range of cells. So it's going to compute this for this whole range, which is G9 to G12. So we can see false here because it's asking, is the length of characters of the values in each of these cells equal to 4? If it's equal to 4, it's going to return true, and if not, it's return false. So these three all return true because they are 4, whereas this one returned false because it is not 4, it's 5. Okay, so this is that function. So it's just simply returning the Boolean true or false to check if the length of the characters, the values of these cells is actually 4. So this is now our Boolean expression. So we can actually use this function here, this whole Boolean expression, the function and what it's equaling to within the logical test portion of our if function, and we can further customize the values we get like you saw in these first two examples. So let's take this. Okay, and the same array will come out equals to if, okay, that whole thing, len, that range of cells is equal to 4. If that's the case, then it's going to take it one by one, as you saw. So if that's the case, if they are actually 4, let's just return a boolean true. But if they are not 4, we can return something like addition in text or something of the sort, because we know that we added an extra a, which is why the length is no longer what you're seeing. So we return the boolean true for these other ones where the length is equal to 4, and then we return the addition in text for the one where the length is not equal to 4, which is here false. So you can see that this is returning false, a boolean false. So that is why the value if false portion of the if function is what's running here, and we're now getting addition in text. Okay, so those are just some very basic examples of how you can use your if function, and how you can also nest other functions in it to really make it more complex and make it available for a wide range of use cases. So yes, that's a bit more on the if function. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this lecture on the if function. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next lecture.
Thank you for watching, and if you learned something new or enjoyed this video, be sure to show us support by clicking like and subscribe. Your support helps us to bring you even better content, so stay tuned for the next exciting video. You can also click the link below to see other free and paid videos on other exciting topics. If the click did not work, kindly copy the link and paste on your browser. Thank you, and see you in the next video.